I need to be upfront that this is not going to be an optimistic video. It's going to provide a reality check for many of you. I know that computer science, especially at UT, is one of the most desirable and in-demand programs, especially compared to UT Dallas or Texas A&M, which is where many UT Austin transfer applicants come from. My first piece of advice when trying to transfer into UTCS is to not get your hopes up. The program is unimaginably competitive to transfer into, so much so that I've basically stopped taking on CS transfer clients. I've had many 4.0 clients in recent years not gain admission, and CS has only been more competitive since COVID, because in the past it was as attainable as any other STEM major. Literally 98% of you watching this video are not going to gain admission to UTCS as a transfer. The primary reason UTCS is so competitive to transfer into is because there are so few spaces available. Whichever UT students change out of or graduate with CS degrees, those spaces tend to go to current UT students who apply for an internal transfer. UTCS doesn't publish any of its admission statistics, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was less than 5% or maybe even 1 or 2% of transfers that gain admission. It's so rare nowadays that you don't even see verifiable acceptances online, nor do any CS transfers who have successfully gained admission message me. The only other majors like this for transferring into a UT are architecture and nursing, which have always been basically impossible. So if your number one priority is to get into UT in general, you should strongly consider not selecting computer science as your first choice major. It's also unfortunate that a similar major in CNS, statistics and data science, doesn't admit transfer applicants, at least to filming this in the summer of 2025. Although UT technically allows you to select two majors, the second choice is almost never given, especially for STEM majors. On the other hand, graduate admissions for UT Computer Science is relatively normal, so your best option might be to finish your degree at your current school or look at transferring into a university. If you get a really good GPA there, then perhaps look at UT for your post-bachelor's education. Nevertheless, despite those cautions, I know many of you watching this video will still be determined to try and transfer anyway, so I can offer a few tips to try and maximize your chances. First, if you don't have a 4.0, your odds are basically zero. Although it might happen in theory, where students with slightly lower grades do get in, you basically need a 4.0, especially in those STEM courses. Although the College of Natural Sciences doesn't technically require any prerequisite courses, competitive applicants will have substantial coursework in those core calculus and lab science classes like physics, biology, and chemistry. You should also have many computer science classes completed as well. You will also need an exceptional STEM-oriented resume with many deep demonstrated experiences in coding, programming, and related computer science themes and areas. This could take many forms, like a professional job or internship, research opportunities, extracurriculars, or some of those STEM and coding competitions and hackathons. To be honest, these low-level independent projects are the sort of proof-of-concept coding that you might have done as a beginner or in middle or early high school just isn't going to cut it for transfer admissions. Competitive applicants will be familiar with many programming languages or statistical analysis techniques. I receive inquiries from maybe 5 prospective CS transfers each year that I'm like, maybe you've got a strong enough resume and transcript that you might have a chance. But it's hard to describe what a competitive applicant looks like other than that I recognize it when I see it in their profiles. The unfortunate reality is that the dozens of others who are wanting computer science and who do email me have little or no hope, and I just straight up tell people that nowadays. So the honest reality is, if you have to ask whether you're competitive for UT Computer Science, you're probably not. The final advice, of course, is to write your best personal statement possible. I dedicate many other videos to essay tips, so I won't discuss it here. Then after all that, it's just a matter of getting extremely lucky. If you end up gaining admission, it's literally so rare that I would love to hear from you and seeing your application, and also a verified my status screenshot that you actually got in. But for most of you, if UTCS doesn't work out, I recommend that you complete your studies elsewhere rather than trying a second or a third time, and then look to UT for graduate school. Look, I'm sorry to record such a discouraging video, but it's better to hear about this intense competition landscape from me than to get your hopes up and almost certainly be let down. I don't really take on CS clients anymore, but if you do have an exceptional profile, I could be interested in working together, understanding that your chances are still going to be low. The easiest way to reach me is by email at kevin@techsubmissions.com and to complete the questionnaire in the information section of this video for a free email admissions consultation. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.